Hi, this is Kent Vaughn with Blaze Performance Solutions, and today I'm going to talk about communication. As I think about communication, I think about an experience I had with my wife many years ago, and I was explaining something to her, and I said, "Baby, you're not listening to me." And she said, "I'm listening just fine. I don't understand what you're saying." How often has that happened to you in your communications with friends or family or coworkers, clients or customers? You think you're communicating fine, and yet, as it turns out, maybe you really aren't. And the problem is when we don't really understand that we don't understand, or they don't understand us. So let's begin with an example about words. The problem is that even when you speak the same language, the words often mean different things. Let me throw out three words to you. The first one is dog. What do you think of when you think of dog? Well, some of you think of Lassie, some of you think of a Great Dane, some of you think of a little tiny Chihuahua, some of you think of a Schnauzer, I don't know, you think about all kinds of things. We're all thinking of a dog, but it could be large or small or cute or cuddly or ferocious even. We're all talking about dogs, but fundamentally different animals. Does that really mean the same thing? I don't think so. Or let's say boat. Let's go out on the boat. Now for some people that means a yacht. Some people that means a ski boat. Some people that just means a big party boat, a barge. They're all technically boats. Some might be thinking about a cruise. And yet they're fundamentally different kinds of boats, aren't they? Some would be offended if you called them a boat. And finally, let's think about house. What does house mean to you? Well, when my wife and I bought our first house after having lived in an apartment for almost a decade, we were just so excited about that first 1,400 square foot house with 3 bedrooms and a 2-car garage. Wow, what a house that was for us. Years later, we were thinking about something very different, with a lot more room for teenagers and room for kids to come over and those kinds of things. They're both houses, right? But you might mean the mansion on the hill or the house on the water or your starter home. They're all houses, but as you say the word, it could mean such different things to different people. So one of the things I'd ask you to think about very carefully is, what do the words you are saying mean to them? Ask them to tell you what they think you mean. Well, I've said X, Y, and Z. What does that mean to you? Give me a sense of what that means to you. Assuming is problematic by definition. And if you're the one trying to communicate effectively and you're assuming, whose fault is it? Whose responsibility is it to clear up the communication? Well, it's mine as the person that's communicating. That doesn't mean that if I'm the person that's receiving communication that I don't understand, that I shouldn't ask. I should. But I'm saying, hey, lead yourself first. Take some responsibility about this communication. I'll give you another kind of goofy example. When my kids were growing up and we'd be traveling somewhere, it wasn't unusual for us to stop, jet into a fast food restaurant, a few hundred miles down the road and get something to eat before we got to our destination. And I hated when 2 or 3 or 4 miles down the road, one of my sons would say, "Gee, Dad, they put mayonnaise on my sandwich. I hate mayonnaise." Or my daughter would say, "Where's the fry sauce?" Or my wife would say, "They didn't give us enough salsa." And so it was apparently me not communicating well and effectively with the person at the drive-thru. And so what I started doing is at the drive-thru, after I gave an order, I would say, "Could you repeat that back to me to ensure that I got it right?" I never said to assume or to assure you got it right. That's a negative way to say it, and you may get bad stuff in particular because of the way you spoke to them. So I would say, "Hey, could you just repeat that back to me, make sure I got it right, because there are so many different things my family wants." And I have found that to be very effective in communicating with my team and customers and clients and others over the years, to make sure just to ask. So, I said some things. I want to make sure that they mean the same things to both of us. So would you mind repeating back, or just kind of give me your view of what do you think that is? By taking a little time on the front end to make sure we've got the right words, or that the words mean the same things to everybody, it's amazing how much better communication can become, and how much less stress and frustration we'll have later with poor communication. Well, have a great day. This is Kent Vaughn with Blaze Performance Solutions. Thanks so much.